Hello, lovely writers, and welcome to another Writerly Wednesday. Today, especially because I know there are a ton of you that have just finished the incredible push that was NaNoWriMo. Many of you have come to the end of a draft, hopefully, of one of your manuscripts. And one of the problems that most of my writers have in this time period is not getting stuck back into an edit. Now, here's why. The best way to make maximum use of your edit is to gain some perspective. And perspective cannot be gained in a 1 to 2 day or even a 1 to 2 week break. You need to put that manuscript away for a good 4 weeks at least. Now, I've got many personal stories that I've heard of where people have really kind of fudged it a bit and not done that. And what's sad is they do the edit, and it's not to say that you can't get editing done, but the truth is you're still too close. So you will have to add on another edit based on time that you've had away from the manuscript. You must separate from the trees to see the forest. And the only way you can do that is space and time. So I'm going to give you some suggestions today on what to fill your time up with during those 4 weeks. I know it can be really daunting, especially if that time period that you gave to yourself for the writing was hard won and you want to keep it. I want you to keep that time as well. So what can you do when you put that manuscript in the bottom drawer? Figuratively. Anyway, well, number one, you can start another project. You can get stuck in to some new creative idea. Maybe when you were writing this one, you had some characters tapping you on the shoulder or a new idea come up. I want you to give yourself permission to start on that project. And if you don't know how to get started, check out some of my other videos, especially those on the 5 main plot points that I want you to work out before you get started in your writing. Another thing that you could do to fill in that time is something that will stretch your creativity as well. And that is try something totally new and not word-based. Still remain creative. Photography, painting, collage, whatever you can think of. Play with Play-Doh, sculpture, jewelry making. Something that is totally outside the box, and especially helpful if you try something where you're going to be starting as a beginner. That's an incredible, incredible thing to get you to stretch the bounds of that creative side of your brain. And the third thing that I could recommend is, you know how usually I will say when you are in the writing process, slow down on your consumption of other people's writing. So I don't want my writers to read books that would be within the genre they're writing. Why? Because inherently we are going to start to compare our in process with somebody's final outcome. And that's no good for any creative person. Okay. So now that you've got a break, what a beautiful time to catch up on all of that reading you wanted to do, or study story as it's told in television or movies or in stage productions, musicals, anything that floats your boat. But now's the time that you can move into consumer mode. And in fact, sometimes this type of consumption during that break from your own manuscript can help you to have certain pieces slot into place that you hadn't had quite figured out while you were writing this draft of your manuscript, and it will help you when you go into edit. So I would love to hear from any of you. What sorts of things do you do to keep those creative juices flowing during the time that you're supposed to put the manuscript away before you tackle the next edit? I want to hear what has worked for you and maybe some of the things that haven't worked for you. We're all here learning. The truth is you have a story to tell, and now is the time to tell it. But maybe if you've just finished that particular story, you need to put it away in a drawer, and that's okay. Until next time, I wish you a wonderful writerly week, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.